In today's gospel, Mark tells us that Jesus looked around at the Pharisees with anger and grieved at their hardness of heart. Other English versions of the Bible translate the second part as he was deeply saddened by their hardness of heart. This is probably the only instance that I know of in all the Gospels that we hear about Jesus being angered and saddened at the same time. Sa Tagalog, galit na tinignan sila ni Jesus at labis niyang ikinalungkot ang katigasan ng kanilang mga puso. Galit at lungkot. Magkahalong galit at lungkot ang naramdaman niya. I have heard many people telling me that they feel the same way about many things that are happening in our society today. A mixture of anger and sadness. Anger about the things that are too blatant and obvious. But sadness about the fact that most people perceive them differently or simply remain indifferent about them. I think Jesus was both angered and saddened that he could cure the man with a withered hand, but he could not do anything about the man with withered minds. I mean the Pharisees with hardened hearts. They were looking, but they were seeing only what they wanted to see. Mark tells us they watched Jesus closely on the Sabbath so that they might accuse him. They had allowed themselves to be used for the politics of the Herodians. In fact, at the end of the gospel, Mark tells us they immediately took counsel with the Herodians against Jesus in order to put him to death. Yun pala ang gusto nila. Ang ipapatay siya. Isinuplong na siya sa gobyerno. At the guise of defending peace and order, these Pharisees are invoking the law, but they are just using it as a weapon against Jesus. At first, Jesus even tried to reason out with them by posing a question about doing good and saving life on the Sabbath day. But Mark tells us they just remained silent. Meaning, Jesus could not even elicit any response from them. He could not touch their hearts. Mark describes their disposition as a hardening of the heart. Katigasan ng puso. The hardening that he is describing is, of course, not physical, but spiritual. He is saddened because they have begun to behave like automatons or perhaps even like para ba silang mga surveillance cameras, para silang mga CCTV who were watching and recording things that they could use against Jesus. The contrast between Jesus on the one hand and the Pharisees on the other hand is very ironic, you know. He is trying to do good. He's trying to save life. And what do they see? They see evil in what he's doing. They see something unlawful. Para bang tumingin sila sa donut at walang nakita kundi yung butas sa gitna. This is what angers and saddens Jesus. For him, more important than taking a rest on Sabbath is giving rest to other people by relieving them of their sufferings. Compassion. But when Jesus does it, he has to be ready to suffer the consequences himself.